Yow, yow, yow. What up, what up, what up, my bet and family? We back with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of March 28th, 2023. Before we get started, though, as always, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're less than 400 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown thus far. And just a quick reminder, once we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, we'll be giving away $100 to two of our first 1,000 subscribers. So just be on the lookout for further details on how to enter that giveaway. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. I'm going to be bringing y'all my top 6 picks for tonight's NBA slate of games. Just to do a quick recap of yesterday's slips that I did submit, which was a total of 3 slips. This first one here, as you guys can see, we were able to go 4-2 as Sabonis only ends up with 10 rebounds, and we took his over 12.5. And then Brook Lopez, we took the under on 7.5 rebounds, and he ends up with double-digit rebounds at 10. So a 4-2 slip, not bad. Moving on to the second one. This one here, we were only able to go 3-3 as THT. We took his under 4.5 rebounds. He ends up with 8. Killian Hayes took his under 12.5 points against the Bucks. I didn't think that he would, score as much as he did, which wasn't much, but he only ends up with 14. But he goes over the 12.5 point mark. And then Russell Westbrook, we took his under 7.5 assists, and he ends up with double digits assists. So 3-3 on this slip. And then moving on to our last slip, which is the picks that we posted on yesterday's video. Another O for day, as Giannis Antetokounmpo ended up as a DMP. Kyrie Irving, with this line, we really only took this line because we thought Luka wasn't going to be playing, was going to be suspended due to going over the technical foul limit. But the news came out later in the day that the NBA was taking back the technical, and he was eligible to play on last night's game, which he obviously ended up playing. So definitely wouldn't have taken his line if I knew Luka was playing. But it is what it is. Also, Chris Paul took this line with the thoughts that DeAndre Ayton wasn't going to play, but he does end up playing. Either way, it is what it is. I'm going to take these losses on the chin and move on to the next play. And just to cap it off, Kawhi Leonard comes up short on his PRA line as well. So these past couple days, these past 2 days has been horrible. We haven't been able to green after going on a winning streak before these last 2 L's that we took these past 2 days. But definitely look to bounce back and get back to our winning ways. So let's go ahead and get right into my top 6 picks of tonight's NBA slate of games. Also, if you guys didn't know, PrizePicks usually every Tuesday, they run a Taco Tuesday promotions where they discount some of the props. Their first prop they're discounting is going to be Trae Young. His original line was at 25.5. They bumped it down to 21.5. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that for our first pick. Just looking at his last 5 games, he has gone over in 3 of the last 5. If you're just looking at the regular 25.5 or the 21.5 line, he's gone over in 3 out of his last 5. He is only averaging 22 points per game, mainly due to the 14-point performance and the 9-point performance against the Pacers and the Spurs. But tonight they're going to be going up against the Cavs team. This is going to be a good game, a competitive game. It's pretty much a pick 'em. It's only a point spread or a point and a half point spread. So it's definitely a pick 'em game. They expect it to be close and competitive. Now, over his last 5 games against the Cavs, Trae Young has hit his regular line of 25 and a half and 4 out of his last 5. In those 5 games, he scored 35 points, 41, 30, 25, and 34. Now, the 25 and 34 came in the 2 earlier matchups this season. So the only one that he did miss came right on the hook at 25. Now, if you're obviously looking at the 21 and a half point line, the discounted line, he's hit the over in his past 5 and probably hit the over in more than just his past 5 games against the Cavs. But another reason why I like it, I expect a big game from Trae Young tonight, as the Hawks are currently the 8th seed. They're tied with Toronto for the 8th seed. They do own the tiebreaker, and they're only 1 game up on the 10th seed Chicago. So I expect a big game from Trae Young. Obviously, they want to stay in the play-in, but I'm pretty sure they only want to be able to win 1 game to get into the playoffs instead of falling to that 9th or 10th seed, where they're at that point they'll have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs. So all in all, I like Trae Young to go over his regular line, but obviously over this discounted line for my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to be going to a PRA line. I'm going to be going down to the Raptors and Heat game, and I'm going to be taking Jimmy Butler over 34 and a half PRAs. Now, over his last 5, as you guys can see, he's averaging above this line at 36, .2 PRAs, going over in 3 out of his last 5 games. Now, for the season, the Raptors are allowing the 10th most points per game, the 10th most rebounds per game, and the 5th most assists per game to opposing small forwards. Now, the Heat, in their last game against Brooklyn, they just pretty much got blown off the court, especially in that second half. So I definitely expect a bounce back performance from them. And I like Jimmy Butler to lead the way. The Heat currently are tied with the Nets for the 6th seed. The Nets on the tiebreaker. So I expect a big game from Jimmy. I expect him to come out and be aggressive and try to get the dub for the Heat to be able to move into that 6th seed and avoid the play-in game. Now, other than that, I think this is going to be a competitive game. This is 2 defensive-minded teams, but Jimmy Butler shows up in big moments, and I think this is one of the big moments of the season to be able to, stay out of the play-in and get that 6th seed. So I'm going to be taking Jimmy Butler for my second pick. For my third pick, I'm going to go back to the Cavs and Hawks game, but I'm going to be going to the other side. I'm going to be going to the points and assists prop, and I'm going to be taking Darius Garland over 28 and a half points and assists. Now, in the 2 earlier matchups between these 2 teams, he has hit the over in both of those matchups, totaling 35 points and assists in each of those games. In 1 game, he had 26 points, 9 assists. And in the latest game, he had 33 points and 2 assists. So another reason why I like this, DeJounte Murray, pretty much the Hawks' best perimeter defender. It's more than likely going to be matched up with Donovan Mitchell, which should lead Darius Garland to be matched up against Trae Young. Obviously, Trae Young, being his size, he's not going to guard the small forward in Okoro or, the bigs down low. So definitely expect Darius Garland to get the Trae Young matchup, and he should be able to get his with Trae Young guarding him. Now, with this one, the Cavs are 1.5 games behind Philly for that 3rd seed. Philly did after Philly lost last night. So I expect them to come out aggressive. I expect this to be a great game as well. And I expect them to try to go for that 3rd seed. Obviously, if you can improve your seeding, I'm pretty sure they'll take advantage of that. So I'm going to be taking Darius Garland over 28.5 points and assists for my third pick. For my fourth pick, I'm going to be taking another, not another under, our first under. There is two unders coming up. My first under is going to be in the points category, and it's going to be the Wizards. We're going to go to the Wizards and Celtics game, and I'm going to be taking the under on Kristaps Porzingis, 25.5 points. Now, as you guys can see over his last five, he's averaging 24.8, only hitting the over in 2 out of his last 5 games. He did miss one game against Denver right on the hook with 25. But tonight they're going up against a Celtics team that, as we know, are a great defensive team. Now, for the season, Boston is allowing the third least points per game to opposing power forwards. Now, if you want to look at it to over the last 15 games, they've improved to the second least points per game. And over the last 7 games, they're allowing the least points per game to opposing power forwards. So all in all, over the last 7 games, over the last 15, for the entire season, they've been able to guard that power forward position very, very well. Also, on top of that, there is blowout potential in this game, as it is 11 or 12 point spread. So if the Wizards are getting blown out, I'm pretty sure Porzingis is going to sit down early and not get his full minutes. But all in all, I'm going to be I like the under on the 25.5 points for Porzingis. Whether it stays a close game, the Boston defense has been able to keep power forwards in check, or if it's a blowout potential, I'm pretty sure the Wizards are going to sit down Porzingis and put in some other players, young players that they want to see how they develop. I think the Wizards are the 11th seed, I believe, 3 games behind the 10th seed. So it's looking like they're not gonna. They're already sitting Bill and Kuzma, I believe, for the rest of the season. I'm not sure about that, but I believe they are gonna sit him down for the rest of the season. And Porzingis is obviously next. So I'm gonna be taking the under on Kristaps Porzingis, 25.5 points tonight against the Boston Celtics. And for my fifth pick, I'm going to be taking an over points and rebounds category, going down to the Memphis and Magic game. And I'm going to be taking Wendell Carter Jr. over 25.5 points and rebounds. Now, in the earlier matchups this season, he did end up right on the hook with 25 points and rebounds, having 18 points and 7 rebounds. But that game, it was with Steven Adams in the lineup. He was still playing at that point. As we know, he's been out for a while due to an injury. And since he's been out, the Grizzlies have been really, really struggling containing centers and grabbing boards. Now, over the last 15 games, the Grizzlies are allowing the 4th most points per game and the 2nd most rebounds per game to opposing centers. So all in all, I think this should be a good matchup for Wendell Carter Jr. to get his and be able to get us 26 points and rebounds. So I'm going to be rocking with him for my 5th pick. And for my 6th and last pick, it's going to be the second under of the night. I'm going to go back to the Raptors and Heat game. I'm going to go to the PRA category, and I'm going to be taking the under on Jakob Poeltl's 23.5 PRAs. Now, if you're looking at his last 5, he's been pretty much been hitting, as he's hit the over in 4 out of the last 5, only missing against the Pistons when he ended up with only 16 PRAs, and he's averaging above this line at 25.2 over his last 5 games. But tonight's matchup against the Heat couldn't be worse for Poeltl, as the Heat for the season are allowing the least rebounds per game, the least assists per game, and the 2nd least points per game to opposing centers. So overall, we know that the Heat defense has been great all season, but against the center position, they have been locking them up, and mainly could be because of the slow pace. Obviously, you have Bam down there, but either way, I don't like Pirtle to get this line of 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And to top it off, he's played the Heat 14 times in his career, and he's only hit this over in 1 out of those 14 times. Back in, I believe, in 2018 or 19, where he had 16 points and 12 rebounds for a total of 28. He had 0 assists in that game. And that was the only game he did go over in 14 career matchups against the Heat. So all in all, he hasn't had a good track record against the Heat. On top of this season, the Heat being pretty much one of the number one defenses against the opposing center. So I'm going to be taking his under 23.5 PRA line for tonight's game. And that's going to be it for my top 6 picks of tonight's NBA slate of games. Just to recap, we're going to be taking the over on Trae Young points, the over on Jimmy Butler's PRAs, the over on Darius Garland points and assists, the under on Porzingis points, the over on Wendell Carter Jr.'s points and rebounds, and the under on Jacob Poeltl's PRA line. As always, if you agree with any of my plays, please do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And also here at No Limit Bets, we like to go with the low risk, high reward. So I'm going to be placing a $7 entry for the possibility of winning $175. So let's go ahead and place that entry. And that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Let's get